What's good? It's your boy 2K here. Shout out to the movement and everybody who's moving with us. Man, we got an intriguing ass fight about to pop off tonight. And I'm not talking about Jorge Linares versus Vasil Lomachenko, which I'll get to a little bit later. I'm talking about the other fight. You know what I'm saying? The one everybody looked at the card and was like, Simply because, man, you got a cat that a lot of people are not crazy about unless you're from Brooklyn, versus another cat who nobody fucking knows, right? Then when you look at the undercard, you got an undefeated unknown champion versus a cat a lot of boxing fans have no idea fucking even existed before his name was on this card, right? So when you look at it, it's like, I ain't watching that shit, man. I'm about to go eat some shrimp or climb some trees or some shit instead of watching this fight, right? But then when you do your research on the guy that nobody knows who's in the main event, and you compare his style to the guy that you're not really crazy about, you can easily come to a conclusion that, yo, this fight might be a barn burner, dog. There might be an upset. And I'm talking about Sadam Ali defending his newly retrieved WBO 154-pound title he got off a Miguel Cotto fight against the unknown Jaime Munguia. Now, where have we heard that name before? Jaime Munguia. Nigga, that shit is familiar as fuck, right? That's right. Gennady Golovkin tried to use him as a replacement for Canelo whenever he had to pull out for eating them damn Clembuto beef tips. You know what I'm saying? The second cat that they tried to get besides Spike O'Sullivan was that of Jaime Munguia. Now, of course, the nutsack, aka the Nevada State Athletic Commission, they went ahead and turned down that fight. They said, yeah, nigga, we not about to sanction no goddamn Jaime Munguia versus Gennady Golovkin. Then HBO turned around and came behind them and said, yeah, nigga, we wasn't gonna broadcast shit anyway. Get that motherfucker out of here, right? Now, that's the irony here. HBO was cool with Sadam Ali fighting Jaime Munguia, but they not cool with Gennady Golovkin fighting him, and I understand why. First of all, these are two different state athletic commissions, right? This fight is not happening in Las Vegas, or Nevada for that matter. Also, Sadam Ali is not one of the fighters that HBO has under contract that's gonna really generate a major amount of their revenue. You see what I'm saying? Like, Gennady Golovkin is probably the face of HBO right now. You know what I'm saying? So, he is their big money maker. They can't get away with a guy of Gennady Golovkin's prestige fighting a motherfucker nobody knows on short notice as a replacement for a big mega fight with Canelo. They can't get away broadcasting that type of fight, but they can get away with it with a guy of Sadam Ali's prestige and skill level fighting a guy nobody knows, simply because Sadam Ali's not that fucking good. So it's okay. HBO's like, yeah, go ahead, shit, we good. You know what I'm saying? That's why they had Demetrius Andrade fighting that Alantez Fox cat. While we believe Demetrius Andrade is a good fighter, most boxing enthusiasts, the perspective of the casual fans, I like to say, that's the majority of boxing's fan base, right? They don't see Demetrius Andrade as a big draw. I mean, he's not really intriguing the fans. So it was okay for HBO to put on Demetrius Andrade versus Alantez Fox. Now, right now, this shit came back to bite them in the ass. Now they're like, damn, we should never did that fight. And that's pretty much why they pretty much blackballed Demetrius Andrade off their particular broadcasting station. But at that time, since he wasn't a big draw and he wasn't a big money maker for HBO, was just another cat that they had under contract that would have brought in some revenue, it didn't matter who he fought. They could get away with that. But you can't with Golovkin. So that's why they, you know, that's why the irony's here. That's why you see Jaime Munguia tonight against Sadam Ali. But it's okay, like I said, because it's still a good fight when you look at the styles, right? Now, of course, Jaime Munguia is undefeated from Mexico. He's 28-0 with 24 knockouts. His last fight was against a cat nobody knows named Johnny Navarrete back in March of 2017. His most notable win, it took me forever to find this shit, man. His most notable win was a cat that was like 21-6 with one draw. His name is Paul Valenzuela Jr. You know what I'm saying? Now, this cat is his most notable win simply because of who he's already lost to in the ring. He lost to Wilkie Camphor. If you don't remember him, he's the cat that got demoralized by fucking Jamal Charlo a year or 2 years ago. And he also lost to the quitting ass nigga who is pretty much got Pound Rigo status right now, Tony Harrison, right? So those are two pretty somewhat recognizable names to an actual recognizable name, and Tony Harrison that Paul Valenzuela Jr. has been in the ring with. So that effectively makes him Jaime Munguia's most notable win, right? Then, of course, you got Sadam Ali, who defeated Miguel Cotto in a cherry-picked fight that gone wrong, right? Miguel Cotto cherry-picked the shit out of Sadam Ali in order to retrieve his 5th title. You know what I'm saying? And I think in like 4 weight classes, 5th title in 4 weight classes before he retired, right? He was trying to get on that Amanda Serrano shit, what she did in women's boxing. But it backfired when he tore his bicep, right? He was actually beating Sadam Ali. He was breaking him down to the body. You know what I'm saying? It was easy, kind of somewhat easy work for Miguel Cotto, but the shit backfired when he tore his bicep muscle. And then Sadam Ali went ahead and started putting in that work. He took advantage of an injured opponent and put in that motherfucking work, right? Now we're looking at Sadam Ali as the newly crowned 154-pound titleist, actually a 147-pounder, right? Now this fight essentially was supposed to be Sadam Ali versus Liam Smith, not essentially, but initially, right? Liam Smith pulled out. So now in comes Jaime Munguia, and I believe it was on like 3 or 4 weeks notice, and he was already in training thinking that he was possibly going to get a Gennady Golovkin fight, and he was in training before that because he was going to fight another motherfucker nobody knows. So he's ready, you know what I'm saying? It was on like 3 or 4 weeks notice, but he was ready. He was already effectively in training camp. So this was nothing for him to step in with the guy, quite honestly, in my opinion, I don't think it's that great, right? Let me get into detail. Sadam Ali, man, ever since the amateur ranks, I was never fascinated by this cat. You know what I'm saying? I remember watching him down there with the Arroyo brothers, Mick Williams and Mick Joe. I was never really intrigued by the Arroyo brothers. Actually, I pretty much put those 3 cats in the same boat. You know, while they didn't fight each other, nothing like that, they were in different divisions. Whenever I would talk about Sadam Ali or whenever I talk about the Arroyo brothers, I had to bring the other cat up. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's because of their skill set. I mean, they were good amateurs, flashy, you know what I'm saying? But they really just weren't that good. I also put what's the cat's name? Rashid Warren. I also put him in that boat. Motherfucker went to the Olympics 200 times and shit and lost in the first round all 200 times. You know what I'm saying? It's a feat that he made it to the Olympics, but he really wasn't that good in my opinion, man. I just didn't like his style. I didn't think he was a good fighter. And I don't think he's a good fighter as a professional, right? My man ZZ Top whooped that ass. Now he made a move down to bantamweight and shit. And he down there looking like a deer in headlights. Cat's gonna get that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But anyway, I put all them cats in the same boat, right? So when Sadam Ali turned professional, I wasn't really, you know, I wasn't excited about it. I was like, you know, he'll be another cat, you know, might win a world title. At that time, I said, I don't think he'll win a world title. That proved me wrong. And that's simply because of Miguel Cotto's cherry picking. If that shit wouldn't have happened, or if, let me just say this, if Miguel Cotto wouldn't have tore his bicep, Sadam Ali still wouldn't be a champion, right? He had his opportunity against Jesse Vargas, got knocked the fuck out by a guy that has literally pillows for fists. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I predicted he would never be a world champion. It's kind of hard to make that type of prediction now because you got so many fucking titles, and that's what actually happened here. He ended up getting a title, right? But the thing is with Sadam Ali, man, he has some fast hands. He throws combinations and bunches, right? He has the ability to box from the outside, but he's not smart enough to keep that particular game plan, right? Also, he doesn't have the footwork to move like a boxer. When you want to utilize your jab from the outside, when you want to box from the outside, right? When you have that capability, you got to have movement. You got to have good movement. Or else, if guys can get by your jab or the initial setup for your combinations, right? Whether it's a jab or the straight right or however you set your combination up, if your opponent is able to move his way inside and you're not moving, well, then he's got an opportunity to get at you, right? If I'm that guy, I'm going to the body. And this is exactly what Miguel Cotto was doing. I'm going to the body because if I put water in the tank, you already can't move because you ain't got no fucking footwork, but you're going to be more tired and you're not going to be throwing as many punches as you were earlier in the fight, right? And another thing about Sadam Ali is he kind of starts out slow. You know what I'm saying? Like he has the weight and read his opponent. And I understand that, you know, a lot of fighters do that, but it's good for fighters that are actually smart enough to do this shit. He's not smart enough to do this, man. You know what I'm saying? I would say, yo, you doing the right thing. Get out there, you know what I'm saying? You know, get in the mix in the first 2 rounds, read your opponent, adjust, then go for broke. But he can't really do that. He actually goes for broke later. You know what I'm saying? Late in fights, right? Now, his biggest win besides Miguel Cotto was Luis Carlos Abregu. Now, that shit right there, I was astonished by that win, because I had always thought of Luis Carlos Abregu as an excellent fighter, right? Pretty good fighter. When Tim Bradley moved up to 147, I believe that was his first fight at 147, he beat the fuck out of Luis Carlos Abregu, gave him his first loss. I was like, yo, that's an excellent win. So I still kind of kept Abregu, not necessarily an A-level fighter. I thought he was a B- level fighter, but I still thought he was a pretty good fighter, right? So when Sadam Ali beat him the way he did, I was like, damn, that's what's up. You know, maybe Sadam Ali might be a different fighter as his professional career unfolds. And then he went out there against Jesse Vargas and fucking laid an egg, right? Jesse Vargas, another guy I don't think is that good. You know what I'm saying? And he showed that with his draw against another guy I don't think is that good recently, against Adrian Broner, right? But we come to find out that Luis Carlos Abregu had a lot of issues outside the ring. He was pretty much done. His next fight, he got knocked out by a motherfucker that had a losing record. You know what I'm saying? So that could have attributed to the fact that he wasn't himself in that fight against Sadam Ali. I don't know, but I still give Ali full 100% credit for that win. But what I will say is this: once he had to step up in competition against Jesse Vargas, he was a different kind of fighter, right? So now we got this whole idea that Sadam Ali, we don't know which type of Sadam Ali might enter the fucking ring, right? Will it be the one that was actually able to adjust to his opponent, who had an excellent game plan against Luis Carlos Abregu, or will be the one that looked lost in a motherfucker, right? Looked like he was taking an SAT test and didn't study. You know what I'm saying? Against Jesse Vargas. Is it going to be that Sadam Ali, right? Jaime Munguia, man, he is the definition of what a lot of people like to say is Mexican style. Now, y'all all know I don't agree with this whole classifying styles by cultures and races and shit. You know what I'm saying? If there was a such thing as Mexican style, then cats like fucking Salvador Sanchez, cats like Miguel Vasquez, right? Those guys wouldn't be Mexican. They'll be a different color. You know what I'm saying? They'd be a part of a different culture. So I don't agree with this whole stupid ass Mexican style or black style or none of that other bullshit, right? But if you want to go with this narrative, he is the quintessential example of Mexican style, right? He comes forward. I mean, it's War Munguia. You know what I'm saying? He comes forward. He's pretty one-dimensional, like Aaron Martinez type of cat. And if you don't remember who Aaron Martinez is, that's the cat that beat Devin Alexander in a very, very fucking surprising win, where Devin Alexander ended up being fucking inactive for like 2 years before he comes back. You know, I think he had one fight before he fought the Quitter. You know what I'm saying? And that ended up being a draw. But this is the type of fighter that Jaime Munguia is. One-dimensional, comes forward, looking to knock you out, right? While he has fought nothing but nobodies pretty much in Mexico, and I think he's fought in America like once or twice. That Paul Valenzuela cat, Paul Valenzuela Jr., that fight was in America. I think that was one of his fights in America, if his only fight, if not his only fight, right? With him primarily being in Mexico and fighting motherfuckers at a 2-26, you know, it's easy to get 24 knockouts out of 28 wins. But it still says something for a guy who's undefeated, who's relatively unknown, who's coming into this fight with nothing to lose, right? Jaime Munguia understands, hey, I got a title fight, nigga. I'm coming from virtually nothing to jumping into a title fight. You see what I'm saying? Nigga, I'm about to seize this opportunity. If I got to go out there swinging like Deontay Wilder, then I'm going to do so. You feel me? I'm going to do so to get that title. These are the scariest opponents out there. It's not necessarily the guys who are the elite fighters and you're taking a step up, right? Like Jorge Linares, who's already an elite fighter, taking a step up later on tonight to fight Vasyl Lomachenko. That's a scary fight. But these guys are the scariest. They're the undercover serial killers. You know what I'm saying? They're the undercover boogeymen, right? They're the ones that you're thinking, you know, hey, dog, I'm about to run through this cat. He ain't never fought a cat like me. But your subconscious is really trying to tell you, hey, bro, you need to be careful. And you can't look past this cat. This motherfucker has nothing to lose, right? Man, the fact that Sadam Ali doesn't move very well, the fact that he kind of can get caught in the pocket on the inside with his hands down. He also has he's easy to shoot shots up the middle on the inside, right? The fact that Sadam Ali's work rate isn't that of old Paul Williams, you know what I'm saying? A guy that just kept punching, throwing punches, or Robert Easter Jr., you know what I'm saying? A guy that just keeps throwing fucking punches from distance, using his reach, using his boxing ability. While Sadam Ali can get into situations where he's flurrying against his opponent, throwing maybe like a 6-punch combination with a lot of hand speed. Not the kind of hand speed that Amir Khan has, but he does have some good hand speed. While he can get into that rhythm, a lot of times he's not doing that, right? So with him not moving, it allows his opponent to be right there. Whether he wants to judge the distance at mid-range distance or if he wants to get all the way on the inside, his opponent can actually get opportunities right there because he doesn't fucking move. And his work rate's not high enough. And his defense isn't that good, right? His punch placement also isn't that good. You know, Sadam Ali doesn't have very good accuracy with his shots. It's more flash and frill than it is accuracy and quality, right? The quality of the shots. I don't think he puts his the right punches together either when he's throwing combinations. You know what I'm saying? Typically, for example, I'll give you like a 4-punch combination. If you're an orthodox fighter, you want to go with the jab at your left hand, straight right hand, follow up, possibly go downstairs with a left hook to the body, then follow up with that, coming back upstairs with a right uppercut, right? That's from the orthodox position. That's a good 4-punch combination. See, Sadam Ali doesn't put punches like that together. You see what I'm saying? He more so kind of stands there and throws maybe like a jab, then he'll throw a straight, then he'll throw another straight. You know what I'm saying? And he'll do that within combination, which leaves him wide open for a fucking counterpunch if his opponent is smart enough, right? Now, if Sadam Ali can't keep Jaime Munguia honest with his power, which understand, Sadam Ali is moving up from 147, right? Munguia is there. If he can't keep that cat honest with his power, and if he can't, let me just say this, sting him with the jab, he's gonna have to, Ali is gonna have to have an authoritative jab. I don't think Ali's jab is very authoritative. Again, it's more flashy, right? He's gonna have to sting Munguia with the jab and keep his ass honest. You know what I'm saying? That's how you keep an aggressive fighter off you, with the jab, and you keep moving laterally. That's how you keep that motherfucker off you. Literally the bull and the matador. What does a matador do? Nigga got that red sheet and he's sitting there dancing with it. The bull comes, he moves the sheet out the way, and then he moves laterally. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing, but the difference is that sheet is your jab, right? That's what the fuck Sadam Ali is gonna have to do. Man, I don't know if he can do it. He's never exhibited world-class or even average footwork. And this is the same problem Jorge Linares has, right? I think this fight could effectively be, and I've already mentioned it, Aaron Martinez versus Devin Alexander 2. Not saying that Devin Alexander and Sadam Ali have the exact styles, right? They do kind of the same thing. Devin Alexander has a lot of speed on his shots, not really an authoritative jab, not really authoritative shots, and he doesn't move very well, right? In that Aaron Hernandez fight, he elected to fight on the inside. That's what got him lost. And, you know, Kevin Cunningham was like, nigga, what the fuck are you doing, man? Stop sitting in the pocket. Get your ass out there, outbox this one-dimensional motherfucker, right? I think the same thing is going to happen with Sadam Ali. He's going to get drawn into a firefight, much like he was against Miguel Cotto, right? And he kind of was against Jesse Vargas, how he got knocked out. I think he's going to get drawn into a phone booth type of fight, and that's going to be Jaime Munguia's greatest opportunity. I think Munguia could possibly stop Sadam Ali. I'm going to go with Munguia, and I'm going to go out on a limb by knockout. I think Jaime Munguia breaks down Sadam Ali later on in the fight, and I think he knocks him out probably in the 10th or 11th round. It's a big, bold fucking prediction, but I'm going with it. You feel me? If this fight goes a distance, I think Sadam Ali takes it maybe by split decision, majority decision. He might be able to beat the shit out of Jaime Munguia. He might go out there and look the way he did against Luis Carlos Abregu. But the last couple of fights that he's had since that win, I don't think so, man. I don't know. But we'll see, man. I got Jaime Munguia winning that fight by knockout. Also, I'm not going to break this fight down. I just want y'all to be aware of it. The fucking undercard for this particular fight will be the undefeated super bantamweight WBC titleist Rey Vargas. He's 31-0 with 22 knockouts. He's fighting Azat Hovhannisyan. Now, Azat Hovhannisyan, he's on the rise in that particular division. I think he has 2 losses, but he hasn't lost since 2014, right? And since then, he's gone 8-0 with 6 knockouts. So he's rightfully claimed his position to be able to battle Vargas for that WBC crown. Also, a common opponent that these two guys had is former titleist Ronnie Rios. Now, Rey Vargas beat Ronnie Rios by unanimous decision, but Azat Hovhannisyan beat him by knockout, right? I think he knocked him out in the 6th round, if I'm not mistaken. So they have a common opponent. Hovhannisyan actually dispatched with that common opponent a lot better than the champion did, even though the champion fought him first, and I think Hovhannisyan fought him like 6 months later. But he still has the one-up on that particular situation with that common opponent, right? So I think you should check this fight out. Rey Vargas will be going for his 3rd title defense. It's an excellent bout. Stay tuned for that. All right. Also, stay tuned for my Jorge Linares versus Vasil Lomachenko breakdown videos coming up next. And if you haven't already done so, get your ass over to 3kingsboxing.com and get the latest and greatest. Real talk. All right? YouTube, do what you do in the comment section. Be real. Let me know what you think about this fight and this particular card all together. But be real. This is real talk for real fans.